Hello, and today we have, yes, another guitar. This time it's another Fender. It's a Fender Jaguar. It's a Fender Classic Player Jaguar HH from 2016, made in Mexico. I've done one of these before. I had a Vintera one, which was in a, I think it's called Sonic Blue, and well, I got this one. This one's from, like I say, it's from 2016. And well, it's because look, this has got a lovely rosewood board, whereas the other one had a pale ferro board. But we'll talk about the differences. So I mean, I'm a big fan of Jaguars. With the three that I've owned in the time, I've owned three of them. And I'm a big fan of this one, the HH model. It's special. It's a special HH. Got to add that. It's special HH because of the pickup configuration. While it might look like a standard Jaguar, it ain't. Oh no! And we went through this before with the other review, but it's got many different tonal versions, varieties, variations held within, and it can get a little bit complicated. I've done what I can with the various play demos in this video to kind of show you the variety, but it's complicated. Are you ready? Are you ready? Right. So, so you got your humbuckers here, but using these rollers here, if you roll them that way, they're humbuckers, and if you roll them that way, They become single coils. Yeah, they become split into single coils. So you can have humbucker, humbucker, humbucker single coil humbucker, humbucker on its own, humbucker on its own, single coil on its own, single coil on its own, or single coil. And then you've got this switch here, there. You switch it in the down position, it does a kind of a bass cut and makes everything kind of trebly and bright. And so you add that to the entire, pickup configuration. You've got a guitar that's incredibly flexible, and it can go from very brittle, harsh tones to very creamy, murky tones, and all that's in between. Plus, it's a short scale guitar, so it's easier on the hand. So that's why I'm a big fan of this particular Jaguar. At the moment of recording in 2025, January, you can't get there on the Fender website. The HH, special HH, isn't available at all. They've not got a version running at the moment. You never know. There might be a NAM or a CS or whatever they do. It's NAM, isn't it? CS is electronics. Always getting mixed up. At the NAM, isn't there 2 NAMs? There might be one. I doubt it though, because it seems to have fallen out of favour. Instead you can get there's a Kurt Cobain signature Jaguar, but I'm getting beyond myself. So yeah, if you're a fan of the Jaguar, again, it's an offset body, so again, some people aren't a fan of that. I like it because it sits nicely when I'm playing sitting down. It kind of just rests well with the neck angle in a comfortable position. So I'm a big fan of offsets. And if you like the more, I wouldn't say loose. It's got again, short scales have a slightly looser feel on the strings because again, the necks aren't as long. If you like that kind of thing, this is one to look out for. So yeah, we'll do some specs. I actually know what this is because I have the serial number, and I can actually go to the serial number, look up, and it gives me all the specs, the official specs from the website. So that's nice. It's got an alder body, gloss polyester finish. Again, this is in a sunburst finish, lovely sunburst finish. Adjustomatic bridge with floating tremolo, but you can lock it. There's the locking button there. And that means it can't go out, it can only go down. These have twin enforcer humbuckers. Okay, we're going to talk about those. Like I say, 3-colour sunburst. Yeah, you've got your controls here, which turns the neck on and off, the bridge on and off, and then you've got this. What's the official name for it? It doesn't really. Oh, it says no. It doesn't really. It doesn't say what it is. It hasn't got an official name. You've got lead circuit control, volume neck, volume bridge, master tone, rhythm circuit controls, slide switch up, 2 thumbnail wheel controls. Again, this they've actually described. That's interesting on here. It says the 2 thumb wheel controls for neck pickup, volume, and tone. It isn't. They've described the Jaguar controls. They've made a mistake on their own because these changed, they split. They've made a mistake. They've made a mistake on their own description. I thought it didn't make any sense. But anyway, but like I said, those rollers there split these from humbuckers to single coils. So you get, again, a very interesting tonal variety. Rosewood fingerboard, maple neck. What else have we got? C-shaped neck shape, 22 frets, synthetic bone nut, 42mm nut width, 4-ply tortoiseshell pickguard, which is very, very nice. Oh yeah, it's the low cut slide switch. That's what they've got it as. That's what they call it, the low cut switch, that one there. So it gets rid of all the bassy sounds and just gives you a lot of treble and a lot of bite. Ivory dot markers, yeah, that's it really. And vintage style tuners, the ones that are split, so you can just feed the string into and wind on, you know, making it a very easy to change the strings and get them on and off. Now, yeah, what can I say about this guitar? Again, paid a premium for it. It was in good nick when I got it, but somehow I've managed to put a dint in the side here, and there's a little kind of mark there. That's not a blemish. That's in the finish. That's just there. It's weird, but I managed to put a little dint in there, and I don't know how I did it. It's quite odd. I must have knocked it against something, but I'm usually very, very careful with my guitar, so it's been relicked. You can say it's been relicked. So I paid a bit of a premium for this one because these ones are a bit hard to find nowadays in nice condition. Well, it was in a nice condition when I got it. But yeah, I wasn't happy with the. Again, I'm going to have to talk about the Vintera and compare the two. My memories of the Vintera one, which was in a Sonic Blue, again, it was a bit like toothpaste. It's a bit of a toothpaste colour. I liked it, but it felt a bit chunkier. This one feels a bit smaller. I mean, it isn't, obviously it isn't, but it feels doesn't feel as dense, if that makes sense. And also, I didn't think much of the Palfero fretboard. Very dry. But one thing that the Vintera did have going for it was the humbuckers. These ones are enforcers. The ones on that one were called atomic, and they had just a little bit more growl to them. They were a little bit more bitey, a little bit, made a bit slightly more presence than these ones. Now, there's nothing wrong with these ones, but I thought the pickups on the Vintera were better. It was just a shame that it felt a bit chunkier, and that Palfero, I'll never get used to Palfero as long as I live. It always just feels dirty and dusty, whereas Rosewood just feels a bit smoother, just feels nicer under the fingertip. Again, it's what you're used to, isn't it? Really, it's really daft. I mean, you can get good Palfero if it's treated well. A lot of companies don't. Fender are really bad when they come to using Palfero. They don't treat it well, so it ends up being quite a turn off. So yeah, what else is there to say? I think both this and the Vintera are pretty hard to find these days in second hand. You know, they're both, like I say, not available via traditional means, so you're going to have to go the second hand market route. So, you know, it's about time it was refreshed, and it'll be interesting to see if they do a refresh on the HH Special. But yeah, I mean, I do enjoy playing it. It's a solid guitar. I changed the knobs because I can't stand Jaguar knobs. So I put some Telecaster barrel style knobs on there, which I like. But yeah, I can't stand Jaguar knobs. Funny that, just the design of them. I never know where not that I know where these ones are facing, but I just don't like them. It's a preference thing. But yeah, it's got a nice neck to it. The only downside is is you have to, if you want to adjust the relief on this, is the access there is in the old fashioned way, rather than being at the top for the truss rod. It's there, so you'd have to kind of take the neck off, and that can be, if you're good at it. If you're good, you can, like I am, a lot of practice, but it can be a bit of a bind. So yeah, I mean, I really like it. I think it's a good all-round guitar, and if I had to choose, if the house was on fire, I'd probably grab my very first Strat and this one to run out with, because it is, it is such a versatile instrument. But again, you've got to love short scale guitars, and you've got to love Jaguars and offsets and everything. There'll be many who say, "Oh, it's." And again, if you love the grungy kind of stuff, it does good grungy as well. The old Kurt Cobain. They like the grungy people like the Jaguars, because they were cheap, because nobody liked them back in the day. The Jazz Masters and the Jaguars. I always find that amusing. In the early 90s, and that's why they were such a popular guitar of that movement. So what else is there to say? Not a lot. It's just I do enjoy playing it. It's a nice guitar, and I do like the fact that you can pull up a new sound, or a sound that you're not familiar with, and it can go from very glassy, very chimey, to, like I say, being very very thick and dense, and I like that. I like the versatility of it. Very often with guitars, you've just got like 3 or 4 sounds and that's it, whereas this one is just, it's I think it's very very good. The only downside, like I say, is the pickups just don't have the oomph of the Vintera ones, the atomic ones that were out, which is funny. I find that amusing. There is a difference. There really is a difference. I've become a bit of a pickup nut, and certain things, but I do like the feel of this one, and and that's it. It's just one of my favourites. This is a favourite of mine, and it's a good one. It's one of my personal guitars, and it's one that I play a lot and record with a lot. So that's it. That's the review. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you haven't, there'll be another one along in a minute. It'll be better. And if you're really unlucky and you've got autoplay engaged, you might get another one of mine. For that, I'm eternally sorry. And hopefully we'll do this all again soon. And there's only one more thing to say. That is, ta-ta.